Hello, my name is Boy van Dijk. Thank you for being here. I work at Unified Streaming. Our booth is actually right over there. What we do is we create software for video streaming at scale. I myself am a solutions engineer, and in that capacity, I help prospects, customers solve technical issues. I also train customers to work with our software, and I write documentation. So what I want to talk to you about today is fast or free ad-supported TV, and how to deliver that, how to stream that without breaking the bank, which I think is possible if you eliminate the need for a live encoder. So I'm going to try to explain you and walk you through how we enable you to do that. But first off, what is fast? I believe if you've walked around the convention floor, you've probably seen this mentioned quite a few times. It's a very hot topic. Here are a few examples. It's something that started around 2014 here in the US, with the earliest example being Pluto TV. And then in the later years, we've seen quite some big acquisitions. For example, Pluto TV is now owned by Paramount, Tubi is owned by Fox, and Sumo and Peacock are owned by Comcast. So why are all these acquisitions happening? Well, because there's a lot of money in fast, or at least there's a lot of growth in fast. And Screen Media, like in August of last year, predicted that over the next 2 years, revenue in fast would double in the US alone. So who would you deliver fast to? Why would you want to deliver fast? Well, first off, there's obviously quite some people who are dropping their regular TV subscriptions, cord cutters, so to speak. But there's even also people who have never had a TV subscription to begin with. And those are mostly like a young and pretty hard to reach audience. So if you lower the bar to actually engage with your content by delivering it for free, by having it supported by ads, that might make it able to reach those audiences. So how would you traditionally stream fast? Well, the same as a regular live stream. You start off with a live encoder that produces the live stream alongside the SCOTY35 messages that are necessary for ad insertion. Then you have a packager, for example, a dynamic or just-in-time packager, that then takes that input to produce the stream in any of the formats that are required for playback on clients, whether that's Dash or HLS or Smooth, alongside, again, the SCOTY35 messages that are necessary for ad replacement. And then the ad replacement service can take the ads that are in the stream and replace them with more relevant ads so that you can make more money. But yeah, this live encoder, let's speak a bit more about that. Because what is fast in many cases? Well, one example is the Price is Right channel. It's a fast channel here in the US. It has 24/7 access to old episodes of The Price is Right, which is the longest running game show here in the US. Or the Baywatch channel, for example. It offers, again, 24/7 access for free to Baywatch episode, remastered. And what's the common denominator among those channels? Well, it's basically repurposed VOD. So the question becomes, why are you using a live encoder to deliver that kind of content anyways? It's already encoded, you have it on disk. So it might be helpful here to distinguish between true live linear, where there's actually live content that's being recorded as we speak and then therefore needs to be transcoded as we speak and streamed as a live channel, versus virtual live linear, where it might be VOD content that you're streaming live. So in the latter case, so in a case where you're streaming live content that is actually VOD content, if you're basically stitching that content together into a live stream, what's the live encoder there for anyways? Because live encoders tend to cost quite a bit of money, whether it's upfront investment into the hardware or the 24/7 running it as a SaaS solution in the cloud. So if you can skip that live encoder, you can save money. And that's where we have unified remix virtual channels to offer you a VOD to live solution without the need for a live encoder. It's a software-only workflow, well, with no need for a live encoder, no need for an expensive broadcast delivery chain. It is compatible with ad replacement services like Media Tailor, like Google ad insertion, the ad insertion platform, server-side AI. There's a wide variety of partners that we're fully compatible with. It's also compatible with cutting-edge codecs, and all the functionality of a live encoder-based virtual live channels that you would normally expect, they are still available. So how does this solution work? Well, first of all, it starts off with a playlist where you define how you want this live stream to look. What content should be present in that live stream? Let's assume here that you have that live stream that's a 24-hour live playlist. You have nicely defined 24 hours worth of content, and alongside that content you also define where the ad breaks start and end using Scotty markers. It's a very simple playlist, simply XML, Smile playlist, just an industry standard. And on the right hand side, probably you can't read it, but you have to trust me, there's an example over there. So that playlist, that serves as input for our Unified Remix product. That Unified Remix product, I will go into slightly more detail later, but Unified Remix product processes that playlist, and then the output after processing that playlist is served out as a live stream by Unified Origin, which is our dynamic packager. You might have heard of it. That offers a wide variety of features if you use it for live streaming with a live encoder. And using this workflow, it offers exactly the same range of features. So whether you need to add DRM, whether you need to filter out tracks, all of that can be done dynamically. And best of all, you can deliver it to all devices because it supports HLS, TS, fragmented MP4 HLS, Dash, and also DVB Dash. So the whole scope of different streaming protocols that support SCOTY35 and ad replacement we support with this solution. So, as promised, a little bit more detail. Here you see the complete overview of this solution, where on the left-hand side you see the playlist, the Smile playlist, and on the right-hand side you see the player. So if we start off with a request from a player that wants to watch a stream, how does this all work? Well, the request comes in a traditional workflow. Without ad replacement, this request would go all the way to Unified Origin, which would then produce a stream in the format that is requested, whether that be Dash or HLS. And that would then be cached in the CDN. But here, we want to replace ads. So instead of it going directly to Origin, it goes to the ad insertion service. The ad insertion service, let's assume here that it hasn't seen this stream yet, it's not cached yet, it's the first request that comes in, so it doesn't know about the stream and it needs to get that information. So it passes on that request to Unified Origin, basically asking Unified Origin, hey, can you please give me the client manifest of this stream with all the information that I need in there. Unified Origin then reads the output of Unified Remix, and after it has read this output, it reads the content, generates a client manifest from that, where the ad insertion service can replace the segments that represent the ads, where the start and end of those ads is signaled by SCOTY35 markers. And then that manipulated manifest with the more relevant ads that have just been inserted by this ad insertion service will be handed over to the player, where the player can start playback probably first the main content. So the request for that main content will simply go through the CDN to the unified origin. That will then serve out that content, and then later on, when the player arrives at an ad break, the requests will go to the ad server that will serve out the ads that are associated with the ad. And what's important maybe to point out here, because I haven't gotten into detail about that, is how the unified remix process works. So as I said, it starts off with a playlist that unified remixes processes. That playlist references the content in the Vault library. But the nice thing about this solution is that the output of unified remix that then unified origin uses is a so-called reference MP4, or data reference MP4. It doesn't duplicate the media data that is referenced in the playlist, that is stored in your Vault library. It merely references that media data. And this means that there's no duplication going on, so you're not wasting any storage here. But what is very important about this data reference MP4 is that it contains two things: a newly built timeline that is completely seamless, and the SCOTI 35 messages that you've specified in your playlist. So that's the crucial bit of information that is in that DREF MP4 that Unified Origin needs to produce that seamless stream, so that the stream that Unified Origin produces can be played back easily by a player, and a player will just regard this stream as a regular live stream. It won't be able to see that is actually a stream that is produced from stitched together content. So to summarize, the key takeaways of streaming fast using Remix. Well, first of all, focusing on fast, it's an area of strong growth. As shown earlier, there's the expectation that here in the US, revenue through fast will double in the next 2 years. It also offers you the opportunity to expand your audience, reach parts of a potential audience that is hard to reach otherwise. And also, it offers you an additional opportunity to monetize existing assets. In many cases, maybe even assets that are pretty old, like for example the Baywatch channel or the Price is Right channel showcase. All of this using dynamic ad replacement. And if you do this using Remix, this makes it easy to set up because it's a software-only solution. There's no need for a live encoder. The software-only solution also means that it's scalable and robust, and it makes it cost-efficient because no viewers equals no running cost. Whereas normally, if you run a live encoder, you have to run it continuously. And just to point out, you can deploy this solution anywhere you want. It's available in a containerized way, but if you want it run on-premise, that's possible as well. We have ready-to-go solutions available for you in the marketplaces, also of AWS and Microsoft Azure. If you want to see a live demo, you can join us at our booth, which is right over there. But you can also download it yourself, run it yourself in your own environment, or log into AWS or Microsoft Azure. The demo that's available for you to use is using a Dockerized setup, so it should run basically everywhere. And that's more or less what I wanted to share with you about Unified Remix virtual channels. Please join us at our booth if you have any questions, or drop me an email at boy@unified-streaming.com. And if you want to run your own virtual channel demo, as mentioned, we have it available. There's also a nice guide of how to run it with your own content at tinyurl.com/v2ldemo. And that's it. Thank you very much. And hopefully you enjoy the last bit of NAB.